don't know. I've decided that talking about Dak Prescott is no different than talking about politics. It causes the same level of insanity. People are cult members. They're dug in cult fanatics. Yesterday at halftime, I said, awful first half for Dak, and things are going to get turned up pressure-wise if they don't play better. They were down 6-3 to the Lions at home. Now look, rusty, going to be rusty. A lot of debate. There was a lot of
that was to be expected.
Of course, and fair. There was a lot of debate over the first pass. Noah Brown. Was that Noah Brown's fault? Was the ball high? I thought it was a little bit high, but I thought Noah definitely could have caught that. There was another pass that he threw a little bit behind Gallup. It was on the opposite shoulder pad than it should have been. And Dak threw a couple of balls into double and triple coverage. There was one awful throw into triple coverage. Lucky the Lions didn't pick it off. And there was another one with two defenders around. And the crowd was booing. And I understood them booing. But you have these Dak heads, these cult fanatics who are psychos. I'm talking about like some local bloggers that go nuts and they go insane. And they're like, you just hate Dak. You're trying to be the Skip Bayless of DFW. You never give him credit. Guys, I honestly just try to go quarter to quarter, game to game, and just react to each throw. On this show, for the past 5 weeks, we have said that Dak Prescott needs to be the quarterback of this team. That Dak has MVP ceiling potential. If he plays like he did in the first half last year, I have said multiple times, the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl. Okay? But people don't want to hear that. They just, again, like a political discussion, it's one way, you're dug in, and you go crazy. And the amount of backlash and response I got after saying that was an awful first half, I said, okay, I'll rescind the word awful and say bad, poor, not good. But man, I want you all as my friends, you couple of bloggers, I want you as my family members, that you can be losing 6-3 to the Lions and be up 10-6, and you're still acting like you're watching a Hall of Fame performance. I feel like it's like another universe that I'm living in. It really is. Dak ended up 19-25, 207, and a touchdown. He took 2 sacks. I give him a C+ grade overall.
Yeah, I would probably do C+, B- somewhere there. He was efficient. I'll give him that. He was safe. Even though his depth of target was way higher than I expected.
Not in the first half. You said it was 14 yards.
His average pass went 14 yards in the air. That was the biggest in the NFL by 4 yards.
So does EPA and all these plays take into account like the interception that was dropped?
I think it takes into account everything.
Okay.
I don't think there's a thing that it doesn't take into account. A lot of these places won't give you their like formula or methodology.
Yeah.
Because they want to sell, they want you to buy their service. It takes everything into account. And for example, if you run the ball on first down, or you have an incompletion or a sack on first down, you're second down, 2nd and 12. All right, and now you're at 3rd and 7. That creates a higher leverage play, so it may boost your result there a little bit more, your number there a little bit more, because of the time and score and down and distance and such like that. So that's why he may have got, because look, they had 25 really down runs. I don't think they put him in a very good position to succeed with that. You get behind the chains a little bit, and that's why their offense sputtered for until Detroit turned it over 5 times.
Yeah,
the offense wasn't doing much. I think a lot of that was because, as Garrett would say, they were either behind the chains or they were, they were in 2nd and 3rd and long.
Star down penalties were a problem early on.
Yeah, they were.
They had 4 early penalties, and as Bobby Belt tweeted out, Cowboys' offensive line was not doing him any favors. The Lions had 3 quarterback hits in their last 2 games combined. They picked up 4 in the first half alone. So offensive line-wise, discipline-wise, penalty issues. But look, you had 3 points at halftime against the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions defense did not look like the worst defense in the league to me yesterday. Either they did something in the bye week to fix things.
Right.
Their tackling, I thought, was fantastic. They were a much better team. They can't intercept the ball to save their lives. Yeah, they wouldn't know an interception if it bit them in the butt. But, I'll say this on both sides. Boy, I'm talking about politics. I'm going to both sides the hell out of this thing here. You weirdos out there who want to use this Dak game as like this referendum, like he's like amazing, like, oh my God, look at these numbers, he was fantastic. You're as bad as the people who would sit here and praise Cooper Rush for having this game, but trash Dak for having this game. You really are. All right, this was not a great game. This was not a poor game. This was a knock some rust off game for me. If Dak has this game 3 weeks from now, I'll have it. I'll really kind of go in on him. But like today, it was like, okay, let's get the rust off. Yeah. You got to win. Be safe. They were safe yesterday.
Yep.
I don't like this formula. I don't like this game plan. I will say this: if this is what Dak is, then that's the formula that you have to use.
What do you mean? If this is what he is,
just a mid-tier
like
player.
Yesterday's game,
just a mid-tier player. If he's a mid-tier player, then that is the formula you have to use. If he's not a mid-tier player, then you can't use that formula. Because that formula is going to get you beat by a real football team.
Here's Dak on when he felt like he settled in a little bit yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, I think once I made some throws and I knew as I said, my thumb was good and I felt like I had the spin back that I've had and the confidence. Some of those throws were just overconfident in a sense. And, I've got to guard against that. Just because sometimes it can lead to turnovers, and that's the last thing I'm trying to do is put this team in a bad position because I'm overconfident. And as I said, when you have a defense like this, understand, just continue to go through the reads, take a check down here and there, and it'll pay off.
Bite your tongue, young man.
Yeah, let me say one more thing to the Dak lunatics that were lighting me up yesterday. I don't want this formula. I don't want this KNC, Newey Scruggs, Bill Parcells formula.
God, spare me.
Run the football, play defense. I don't want it. If I hated Dak Prescott so much, I wouldn't want them to throw it to win. You morons, and I'm talking to you, Connor, Blitz's, Burgers, whatever it is, the rest of you Dak head cult members. I want them to throw it to win, even though Dak, I thought, had a bad first half. I don't like being down 6-3 at halftime to the Lions, and I don't want 10-6 relying. This is what I was trying to argue with Newey last night, because Newey, is ultimate results guy. I was like, this is like...
He thinks winning 6-3 is the right formula to win. It's crazy.
I was like, I don't want the San Francisco formula while Dak is under this contract. And he's like, they were just in the Super Bowl. And I said, yesterday took 5 turnovers. If you can look me straight in the face and say... Yeah, just the formula, just let the defense win it. 5 turnovers has not happened since 2001. The first time and a half since 2001. It's not sustainable. It's too dangerous. It's too close.
Way too dangerous.
I don't want it.
I don't want it either.
I want to throw. Let me say it one more time for the dum-dums. I want Dak Prescott to throw to win these games more often than not.
Yep, look.
Yesterday, I get it. Rust. Lions, safer, conservative. 24-6 is a deceptive final score. I'm sorry.
It is a deceptive final score. And listen, the other thing is, And
I do, for the record, think Dak is capable, obviously, of much more than yesterday. You could see in some of the play calls, I know Nick Eatman's going to focus on that first one because he keeps talking about Dak movement versus rush. Roll out left.
Man, Dak gives you nothing with his legs right now. Don't even bring that up. Dak, he might as well just be a fullback. That's the problem. He gives you nothing with his legs post-injury. Nothing. And that's a problem. That's a problem for him because that was a major part of his game. So Nick can come in here and say, "Oh, no, he doesn't give anything with his legs. He just does it."
Well, they tried to my point was they're just trying to roll him out on the first play.
That's great. I love
Noah Brown incompletion.
Yeah, I love that they're trying to. He just doesn't give you. He doesn't offer up. He's not fast. He's a slow, plodding guy now. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
But you can have that San Francisco formula. The problem with that San Francisco formula is that formula doesn't make the postseason consistently. Now, does it succeed when you get there? Absolutely. But your number one goal every year ain't to win the NFC Championship, ain't to win the Super Bowl. It's to make the playoffs. You can't do any of that unless you get there. And the most predictive and stable way to make the postseason is to throw the football. That's a fact. We have data on this. It's a fact. Now, when you get there, different story.
I also
totally agree.
I also am not going to win multiple championships like
No, and I don't
this.
want to win one.
I could win one.
Yeah, I don't want to win one.
You can win one.
I don't want to win one. I want to win 5.
Yeah.
And, the Buffalo Bills.
And I thought, And for the other Dak heads, the Cowboys are telling you to your face that they don't think Dak is the best option for their offense, for their football team. Your $40 million quarterback, they're telling you with this formula, you nut jobs, that he's not option one. It's defense one, running game two, and your boy number three. They're telling you right in front of everyone's face. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I hate it.
I don't agree with it. But it seems like Dak has gotten the message. If you listen to him during these 5 weeks about what he learned, and I also thought he was pretty interesting with Tracy Wolfson after the game on CBS.
Well, Dak, you said you got it done. 5 turnovers certainly helped your offense. For you being back out here, though, how was it?
It was great. I mean, this was a great team win, though. This is what I saw in these last 5 weeks, what our defense is capable of doing, what this team's capable of doing, just having each other back, playing complementary football. It was a tough game. Every game's tough in the NFL, but we were able to get it done, and those turnovers definitely paid off.
How did you feel in terms of getting back into a rhythm and also with the thumb?
I felt fine, honestly. After the first couple of throws, I wasn't thinking about the thumb. Got in the groove there. Ball was coming out good.
Is this the way that you guys have to go and win going forward? Feed off your defense and run the football? Is that the formula?
I think this team's capable of doing a lot of things. That was just one way of winning right there. I think we'll open up some more parts of our offense. This defense will continue to do what they're doing. And it's about playing complementary football.
You got your first touchdown pass of the season. Did you have to convince the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, to let you throw that one?
Actually, no. I thought it was going to be pretty cool to leave this game without throwing one. I'm sure fantasy owners are upset, but it's about winning, and that's all that matters to me.
Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tracy.
That was Dak on CBS. How about that quote? I thought it would have been pretty cool to leave this game without throwing a touchdown pass. Choppy, they have brainwashed him with the formula.
They have brainwashed him. Oh, good gosh. Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, I can't. By the way,
they turned him into Philly Sims.
They did. The fan text has said, by the way, you guys have screwed up. Third is not Dak. Third is punting. Remember, Jerry said defense, running the ball, and punting. Those are the top 3 things we want to focus on.
That's right.
I
disagree with it. I'm not hating on Dak. Yeah. I have a question on how explosive and lethal the offense can be still with Dak at quarterback, but I want to lose finding out that way.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know how many more times I can say it.
We saw, look, the San Francisco formula. What did it do? What did it do yesterday?
Pat Mahomes woke up.
Down
10.
10. So, see, and this is the problem, the Cowboys and every other team is in, right? There are really right now in the NFL, this year at least, like we're looking at, there's 2 teams that can sit there and say, we are the favorites to win the championship every year for the next decade. That's the Chiefs and the Bills. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, you're going to be in the top 4 or 5 favorites every single year. The rest of you in the league, you've got to either find the next Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, or y'all get to play for one title every now and then when your defense has its career year at the same time that your quarterback has his career year. That's the formula.
I agree.
That's the formula. Otherwise, like the Chiefs, defense doesn't matter. The Chiefs' defense is like 30th in the league. Okay, does it matter for them? No. Why? Because they have Patrick Mahomes. Now the Bills, they happen to have the best defense in the league.
Now someone would counter back and say, if we don't have Mahomes or Allen, so why are you copying the formula? To play devil's advocate.
Well, it's because it's the most stable and efficient way to win. But like the reason to copy the formula is because like even a mid-tier passing attack is still
better than the top
rushing attack. Yeah, and that's just kind of I know it sounds hard to grasp, but that's just throwing the ball is just so effective.